Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Jeremy Scheib. Good morning.
Always good to have you along, especially on a Monday. We need to help each other out on a Monday. And just to greet you when you walk out the door this morning, just so you know, if you haven't been out yet, it's going to feel like somebody just dumped a bunch of water in the air and you're going to walk right into it. It's very humid out there this morning and already feels pretty hot. Didn't cool down much. 72 overnight. So
this is where that humidity has been. Whew. It's been compiling and then deciding to just arrive in 1 week.
Yeah, all at once. Maybe didn't get as hot temperature-wise over the weekend, but it sure was to the skin, to the index meter was way up there. We reached 98 over the weekend as a high, and they were talking about 100, 101. But that's also on grass and not in, out in the cemented areas and so forth and sheltered areas. But the heat index was way over the top. Yesterday it was only 92 degrees, but it felt like it was 102. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have the real temperatures, according to the forecast, the next few days. Cool down towards the end of the week, just in time for some football games, which is good.
Yep.
Although there is some chance of some shower activity, which is also good.
Yes.
Might slow down some ball games if there happen to be some lightning with some of that, but that's what's ahead, and we'll watch it for you all week.
Okay.
Big kickoff for the Broken Bow Athletic Booster Club this week, as we'll be broadcasting from the Kincaider Brewing Company this week, and we've got guests coming in and talk about that this morning, and lots of other good guests coming in today to visit with us here on the show. I believe the Rotary's expected in. I'm sure they're going to be talking about the upcoming event, the Truckers Against Trafficking, which is on the brink, and I would imagine we'll be talking with Custer County Economic Development as well. They're on our list today. So got some good things going on, and we're going to cover all of it, every bit of it.
Every single
on this
slice.
Monday. Yep. Have you been watching the Little League World Series at all?
I haven't.
Oh,
no.
Man, that's so much fun. Get a chance.
There's a team from, what's the team that's never sent? They've never sent somebody. What's it, like Montana or something like that?
Oh, there's a few teams that either haven't been there at all or haven't been there for many, many years.
Was there a team from Nebraska? Are they still in it?
No, they didn't get that far this year.
Oh.
Once in a while, a team from Kearney gets in, and of course they start playing way back to get to this point. I mean, school started in most areas, and they're just getting in the middle of the games. They'll mash the international teams and the national teams together towards the end. Japan is always tough. They look very good. There's a young lady that's been playing that's getting a lot of attention. She's very tall. She pitches. She hits. She's outstanding, and so she's getting a lot of media attention. But the most important thing about it is watching how the kids enjoy playing the game, and how I know the coaches have mics on them, and they know they're being listened to and watched. But the whole goal of the Little League World Series is still pretty good. Although the media can't help themselves, they have all the little coverages and special features on the kids and so forth. I wouldn't say it's over the top yet, but it might be getting close. But it's the little side stories are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun to watch. And my beautiful Brewers whack the Cubs. Brent's not here, is he? So I don't really have to do that.
He's not. I'm sure if he's listening, he's upset enough, though.
Well, he's taking some time off. I believe it's Shelley and Brent's anniversary today. So they're spending a little bit of time together. They both took a little time off today, which is nice. And it's a good thing because Brent will be put to work immediately, if not sooner, when he comes back. I think he might even be coming in a little bit later today to get ready for the rest of the week with all of the things we'll be covering sports-wise. So, yeah, that's a big week, right?
Yep, we stay busy. Thursday, there's volleyball, Broken Bow and Hershey, and then Friday we get there's football as well on Thursday, and then on Friday we've got 2 football games as well. So should be a packed week, and then you look at next week, it's even more busy. We've got a couple of triangulars on the side of volleyball on Tuesday and Thursday. Right in the middle of that, you've got volleyball day in Lincoln from Memorial Stadium. We'll be broadcasting that on KBBN. And then right after that, the next day, we've got Husker football going on a Thursday. So
finally, the football game will be played, and people can see what we have here for a team this year, or get an idea. The first games, you never know. Again, the Broken Bow Athletic Boosters Fall Sports Kickoff is at Kincaid Brewing Company tomorrow, and you're invited. Public is encouraged to come. They'll be serving food at a very reasonable price, and I think a lot of the members of the Booster Club cook that up and make the barbecue available. That all starts at 5:30 with student athletes and coaches featured throughout the show, and that's kind of become a tradition. We'll find out more about that today. This is also the anniversary, very important anniversary, of the Dirty Dancing premiere. The movie that goes on and on and on and on. People still love to watch it. It's still very popular. Premiered in 1987. The Dirty Dancing debut 35 years ago. You want some facts?
Sure.
All right. It was based on the life of the screenwriter Eleanor Bernstein, who was also nicknamed Baby.
Okay.
And that's what the leading lady role was. Her nickname was Baby. Despite the on-camera chemistry, which people seem to still enjoy, Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze hated each other.
Oh.
They didn't like each other at all.
Well, they're great actors then.
They were very good actors because it looked like, they couldn't stay away from one another, but in real life they didn't really care to spend any time together at all.
There you go.
Kind of sad, but true. And also, the famous swimming scene in the lake was actually shot in October when the water was only 40 degrees. Dirty Dancing won 2 Academy Awards and a Grammy for the song that will be now stuck in your head all day, The Time of My Life medley. That was so big from that movie. Maybe more importantly, it's National Senior Citizens Day.
Here you go. Go get your seniors discount.
Yeah. I got to tell you, that's weird when you first start using that. But anyway, baby boomers out there, fellow baby boomers, the latest census shows that we are the fastest growing age group. There are 47 million baby boomers in the United States, and by 2060, wow, that's a ways off. Yeah. By 2060, that number is expected to double, unless we do something about it. I don't know what we do.
That's what it says? Unless we do something about it?
Just kidding, then it says.
Oh, jeez.
And then it goes on to say, well, get off your lawn now. Huh? So anyway, that seems like a long time to 47 million in the United States, and by 2060, that number is expected to double. I understand the doubling part, but 2060 seems like a wide span of time, doesn't it?
Yeah. And to double, that's over 30 years away.
Yeah.
A lot of things can happen in 30 years.
Well, what is
it's expected to double, but or are we also expected to live to be 120?
I don't know. Are they you got to put some new science and we'll live to that long?
Put you in a cryo chamber.
I don't know.
Freeze everybody and unfreeze them.
Who knows? It might happen. What they're up to these days with science. Not a lot of birthdays to talk about today, but if you're having a birthday, you'll celebrate with Casey Musgraves, Grammy award-winning singer, a Nashville star. And so happy birthday to you. I'd like to wish my wife, Joan Knight Burney, a happy belated birthday. She was celebrating her birthday yesterday, and we had a nice day with some family members. She got lots of phone calls, so
great.
Happy belated birthday to Joan. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to go any further with that.
Okay.
We'll have to look up the grocery cart specials yet this morning.
Okay.
Brent usually pulls that up on his phone or prints them off, so we'll get that done so that we can bring those to you. In the meantime, we will not back down on a Monday.
All right, we're going to start with certified Angus beef charcoal steaks. Those are $5.98 a pound this week, as are certified Angus beef cube steaks at $5.98 a pound. If you're looking for pork, Hormel is always a good way to go. 8-pound average Boston butt pork roast, $2.28 a pound. Hormel Natural Choice boneless and loin pork roast, $2.28 a pound. Still plenty of time to put some Fairbury Red or Tomboy hot dogs on the grill. In fact, with the Husker game coming up next week, if you're watching or listening from home, what better way to celebrate the Huskers being back than by eating some Fairbury hot dogs? Those 16-ounce packages are $2 for $8. Hillshire Farms, they've got some great smoked sausages. If you've ever had one of those are $2 for $6. If you're looking for some good options when it comes to chicken, 2.5-pound bags of all-natural Best Choice boneless, skinless chicken thighs are $5.28, or you can get Best Buy bone-in split chicken breast, only $1.88 a pound for that. And if you want to start your morning right, or you want to make some biscuits and gravy and put some sausage in it, Smithfield pork sausage rolls, links, or patties, all different versions of that pork sausage, $2 for $7. Taking a glance at what's going on in dairy, Crystal Farms American cheese singles are 3 for $5. Pillsbury crescent rolls are 2 for $6. Those are always good to have on hand. And simply hash browns or potatoes, $2.68 per package. In the frozen section, here you go. A quick meal, Roma frozen pizzas, $2.98 each. DiGiorno Rising Crust pizzas, those are good, $5.98 a piece. If you're looking for a quick entree that you can just toss in the microwave and enjoy moments later, Devour entrees are $2.98. In the grocery section, Pepsi products in a 24-can pack are $10.98. $10.48 are 24 packs of Coca-Cola products. You can also get 6 packs of the 16.9-ounce bottles of Pepsi products at 3 for $12. And let's flip over here to the other side. In produce, red ripe strawberries are $3.98. Seedless grapes, red or green, $1.98 a pound. Delicious Select Super Cucumbers, 68 cents each. That's not per pound. That's each, folks. And in the deli, they've got some great things going on, too. They've got Dixie Deli Coleslaw, $2.48 a pound. Hormel corned beef at $9.28 a pound. And then Colby or Colby Jack cheese, sliced right there in the deli at $5.98 a pound. And while you're there, don't forget you can earn rewards points for your GK rewards by buying some items that you probably buy regularly anyway. Potatoes are there this week. Best Choice Russet Potato 5-pound bags are 2 for $6, earn 300 points. Era laundry detergent, $11.98 a bottle. You got to clean your clothes. And you get 1,200 rewards points when you buy those. So stock up and keep those clothes clean. Eggo waffles or pancakes, 300 points when you buy those at 2 for $6. Don't forget Senior Day every single Thursday. They offer free home deliveries as well at the Grocery Cart East Highway 2 Broken Bow. And remember, you can always go to grocerycart-brokenbow.com and look at the specials like I just did.
All right, very good. Thank you, Jeremy. Let's take a look at our menus, and we'll start with the Prairie Pioneer menu for today. On this Monday, they're featuring Sloppy Joe's, veggie salad, fruit, and chips today.
At Loop City today, grilled ham and cheese or breaded pork sandwich and French fries.
Callaway, sausage and hash browns for breakfast, chicken strips and macaroni and cheese for dinner at Callaway.
At Sandhill Stunning, chicken patties on a bun, tri-taters, and broccoli and cheese.
Ansley, they're diving into the chicken legs today.
At Thedford today, pizza pockets, and then it just says fire.
I
think maybe that might
off.
Yeah, it might be cut off. It might not be. This might not be
fire.
We might have to ask Kristen to go through and get the expanded version of each of these things, because tomorrow or on Wednesday it says baked spaghetti green.
Beans, maybe.
So these might be cut off. We might have to do some work there.
And Selma Myrna today, French toast sticks with eggs for breakfast. No, that's in their lunch entree. Also, cheese platter, cheeseburgers, vegetables, fruit, and milk at Anselmo Myrna today.
At Arnold today, they'll be enjoying sweet and sour chicken and rice.
Gothenburg today, they're having pizza, pasta bake with garlic breadsticks, chicken nuggets with garlic breadsticks. They're having cheesy pizza, fresh made, and fresh baked ham and cheese subs, along with cheese and fruit platter and green beans and fruit and milk at Gothenburg Public Schools today.
At Broken Bow today, pizza pasta bake with garlic breadstick, chicken cordon bleu sandwich, fresh baked combo sub, fajita deli wrap, or go to the grill station combo crispy chicken sandwich basket.
Lunch fajitas at Litchfield Schools today. Lunch fajitas sound delicious. It all sounds good. That's your school lunch menus for today. I guess maybe Jeremy has at least one more.
I got one more. Cozad today, they're having, well, it only has breakfast listed.
Maybe they're having breakfast for lunch.
That could be, except it's listed that whole way
I think
through.
we need to resubmit that one, too. I think that's the breakfast menu. I think Brent mentioned that. He discovered that last week. And
okay.
We didn't
so
tell
we got
Kristen.
a breakfast-only menu. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to get those two
we got some work to do
spiffed
on
up
the
a little bit. Yep. It's not as easy as you think, folks. These school lunch menus are complicated, especially for radio guys. All right, we're going to play the game, and we have one question left on the sheet to your left, Jeremy, and Joan has some new ones for us starting tomorrow, but I think we have one left on that sheet.
Looks like we're talking about historic events that happened in the month of August, and today we are playing for a free 6-inch sub from Subway in Broken Bow. We are asking you, what famous rock festival opened on August 15th, 1969? Is this A, the Monterey Pop Festival, B, the Newport Folk Festival, the Altamont Speedway Free Festival, or the Woodstock Music and Art Fair? We're looking for the famous rock festival that opened on August 15th, 1969. Was it Monterey Pop, Newport Folk, Altamont Speedway Free Festival, or Woodstock Music and Art Fair? Give us a call at 872-2801.
Is pain keeping you from doing what you love? If your neck, shoulders, back, or knees are preventing you from feeling your best, it's time to take action. Whether you've had it for years or it's due to a recent injury, you don't have to live with the pain. Pearson Physical Therapy of Broken Bow offers personalized treatments and flexible appointments that work around your busy schedule. Call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or visit us on the web at pearsonpt.com. The treatment you need, the care you deserve.
We have Tiffany on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, let's see if we can get you a good sandwich here. Here's Jeremy with your question.
All right, Tiffany, we're looking for the famous rock festival that opened on August 15th, 1969. Was it A, the Monterey Pop Festival, B, the Newport Folk Festival, C, the Altamont Speedway Free Festival, or D, the Woodstock Music and Art Fair?
Is it D, the Woodstock?
That's right.
That is right, Tiffany. Now, I have to ask you a question on that, Tiffany, because, I'm from that time period as a youth, and it was a huge concert that got way bigger than they expected, but I'd never heard it described as, how do they list that, Jeremy? A concert and art?
Music and Art Fair.
Yeah, me neither. But I wasn't around then, so I don't know.
Well,
I've never heard it like
you're too
that.
young for that. I guess if taking your clothes off and going swimming is art,
hey,
then
that's
it
art.
Probably, it probably qualified, right?
It could, yes, I guess.
Come see us and have a Subway, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'd never heard it described as an.
It's very artistic.
Yeah, something like that. Huge. It was huge. Biggest concert of all times, and you know the story. They just kept pouring in and pouring in and pouring in, and they were not prepared for it. So
I can't even imagine being there.
Yeah,
it'd be so cool.
It would have been cool, or kind of hot
or
and
miserable.
dirty too.
One of the two.
Yeah, if you go swimming in mud, I don't know.
But those are some of the best memories. You make it out on the other side alive.
Exactly.
Which, some people didn't. Some people died at Woodstock.
There was a few because they were climbing the tower. They got a little.
Oh, they kind of, yeah.
Well, less. Anyway,
you can avoid climbing the tower. Yeah, but
I think a lot of them were already high enough. They didn't need to climb a tower, but
want to get higher,
yeah,
literally.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Tiffany. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Speaking of listeners, we have some listeners up in Canada that are listening online on a regular basis. Remember, you know John quite well, our good friend John, who has the gun shop in Mason City.
Yeah.
Well, he's back up north at his fish camp.
Cool.
And they have internet there now, and so they've been listening to the breakfast show.
Wow.
And
fish camp and internet.
Yeah. That's pretty
living life.
Pretty fancy, John.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a young lady up there, one of their crew members, I think, if I understood it correctly, crew members at the camp who says we need to play more Bob Seger. So
okay,
we'll do that right now. This is for you folks up in Canada this morning. Also, good morning to Gene Oxford down in Oklahoma, and Steve Hornickel, our regular guest who drops off a note, and also Denise Erickson. Good morning to you as well.
And financial situations change. Hi, I'm Janet Lawhorn.
And I'm Tim McCaslin.
Your local Edward Jones financial advisors. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you.
We'll create a personalized financial strategy backed by our advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track, no matter what happens. Contact us today at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
8:05, already 74 degrees outside, and I say already, and then I look at the overnight low, which was 72. So it didn't cool off much, and when you walk out this morning, you'll feel that humidity. Now we have the sunshine to go along with that. There was a little cloud cover earlier. 74, now sunny, a light southeast wind. Barometric pressure's been steady all morning at 3016. Humidity still above 90%. Again, our high yesterday was 92, but we were just talking about the heat index yesterday. Had to be near 100 or over with that overnight low of 72. Sunset today at 8:31. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:54. 79 hundredths precipitation measured in August, and most of that coming in the early portion of the month. Been dry here lately. That's a look at weather and news at 8, and our first guests are here, as promised, from the Custer County Economic Development Group. We have Keith Ellis here with us.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning.
And Mr. Chris Smith is here as well.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hey, we're hanging in there.
Good, good. Well, I should ask you, first of all, Keith, because we sat at the same table again this year for the chamber steak fry. How was your steak?
Oh, it was great. Always is great.
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Jeremy
delicious.
and I enjoyed ours as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
They do a good job.
Yeah.
Work hard at it.
Yeah. I like the cheesy potatoes too, don't you? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Did you make it?
I know I was out of town that day,
You
so
were gone. Oh,
I
man, too
had to
bad.
miss out. So yeah, Louis' famous potatoes.
Yeah.
So on those, I heard they were back. So I was a little disappointed when I knew I was gone.
They did return, and they were well received, as you might imagine.
I can imagine.
Well, Keith, I think you brought Chris in to talk a little bit about what his view of the economic development picture is through our organization.
Yeah, Chris brings a interesting perspective as being the chair of CEDC for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So being the leadership that he brings to the CEDC, I thought it would be good to have him share his thoughts about the last couple years and where we're at today, and kind of get that picture of our organization as we move forward. But with Chris's leadership, what he feels he's comfortable of what has been accomplished.
Yeah, I think one of the things maybe we can start with, Chris, is that, and we've talked about it with Keith as well, but since you're the leader at the time, I'm sure you get asked every once in a while from folks who are not members, what's going on? What's happening? Because a lot of what happens between members and different meetings and committees and so forth, and it's hard for the general public sometimes to grasp that there's a whole lot going on that isn't seen, right?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's probably. I mean, some of that has to be by design. That the things that the economic development's working on are things that maybe we never really see as a general public, and sometimes that's hard to understand, especially when you're out prospecting for new members and things like that. The things that you see that are very public, you're always working on housing, you're working on trying to do workforce recruitment things, you're just kind of coordinating with all the businesses here in town to see, what's best for our area, what's best for you, what types of things that we can do, and basically continually studying the needs, asking for opinions on those needs. Are we meeting them yet? What do we still need to work on, etc. So that's kind of the public stuff that you see, but behind the scenes, Keith is always busy. You have a lot of stuff that you do a lot of busy work for that never comes to fruition. And I told him last week, I said, man, I don't know how you do your job. I'm kind of working on a project right now that hopefully we'll have some news coming out about. And so I've been kind of brokering the, so to speak, the deal behind the scenes, and you get everybody on a page and everybody's good to go, and then 2 days later, like one person's like, nah, I can't do that, but I'm willing to do this, and then you're like, oh man, this is going to fall apart. So then you go over and you make your backup plan, and you're trying to get those things created, and then they're all gung-ho, and so you're like, okay, I've got us this great backup plan, and this is what we're going to do, and this, and this, and we can get this done, and they're like, yeah, I mean, that's okay, but can we go back to the first one and see if we can figure something out, you know? So it's just every time you think you have something solved and you're going to have this great thing happen, and you're going to be the, excited and be able to announce something to the community, something changes. Now, sometimes that all unravels and falls apart, and I'm going to say more often than not, that's what happens. It ends up being one little teeny tiny thing that, as a community member or as a person on the board or somebody working on the project that's really a neutral third party, so to speak, you think, man, why are we getting hung up on something so insignificant? But it's something that causes the deal to break down. So it's like I told Keith, I'm like, man, just to get that all the time and to know the number of projects that he works on behind the scenes that you can't ever talk about, that would get very frustrating. So, for him to stay positive, to keep working forward, I just think that takes amazing effort. And that's where it becomes important to not only support the EDC, because these things are happening and, may work on 15 and get one, but that allows us to be able to at least be in the conversations with these 15 things that are happening. So that's great. The other thing is then when you do become a member, you do have the opportunity every month to go to a meeting or to get the minutes and learn things that are going on. Sometimes a little bit more is shared there, or it may be vague, but we might say like, hey, we're working on a project to bring river boats to the area or something like that.
Right.
And so you at least know something vague on it that you're working on for the community. And then as things progress forward, we can either talk about the details, or if it doesn't come to fruition, then you can say, hey, we worked on this, this is what the hang-up was. But at least you're in the know a little bit of what's going on in your area. And really that gives you also the perspective, what do outside businesses, outside people, et cetera, think of your community and your area, which gives you some insight onto, okay, how do we need to improve to be more competitive, et cetera, that way. And really, you look back, you say, well, my 2 years, I think that's one thing that we've done, and since Keith's come on, is trying to get really competitive with some more things or address those needs that we're doing as we look for things, opportunities. We re-examined how we're doing housing instead of trying to do one house at a time here and there as we could. Now we're looking at trying to do multiple big housing projects. And so we've talked, and you've seen in the news and seen on the city council reports, Eagle Crest that's going in up there. And so, that's been a great partnership with the city, economic development. We've got builders that are excited to look at the opportunity to come in and do that, where they can do some multiple housing units where they can bring their costs down and we can get some good workforce housing. Of course, that makes employers in town happy because, as you're in Adams Land and Cattle, a Beck and Dickinson, or even a Decatur Brewing, and you're trying to recruit people to town to work, well, one of our struggles is we don't have a lot of housing. So this takes care of that, or doesn't take care of it, but starts to address those types of needs on that. The one thing in the community you hear is childcare. Those with children know it's hard to find. So you're constantly trying to work to expand or to find new things. In the city of Callaway is one in here just in our area that has done some great things. So a Broken Bow business expanded over there. So now those residents have some child care that maybe shrunk up and went away that's now back to the community. So, that's awesome for them to be able to do that and get those things. And as Broken Bow works on how do we do that, we can learn from what they were successful at, et cetera, to do. And, maybe there's an opportunity that there's somebody outside of our area that can expand in here or something like that and give us an opportunity. So you see things like that. And of course, you've always got those pies in the skies out here that you're working on things, whether that be, a wellness center or a community creative district that they're currently working on, things that can bring funding and people and things like that and recognition to your town. So that way we can continue to grow and evolve and try to be on the progressive side of things for a rural community.
And Chris and Keith, I know that you're talking about some of those projects that involve lots of paperwork, maybe some government funding, and the political landscape never stays the same, and that can really make for challenging times when you maybe had something that was before you politically, and then you get a change and you kind of have to start all over. And I don't think people think about that very often either. And I know, Keith, you have to monitor that all the time.
All the time, yeah. When you're dealing with grants from the government, yeah. We have Scotty Ross on board now, and Scotty does a great job in managing all of those grants. But it's continuous, and it's a curveball every other month. I mean, so it's all reporting and doing it the right way, and and being both of us being relatively new at what we're doing in the grant world. It's always an adventure and trying to look back historically to what purpose was before, and the documentation and all of that. So, that's always a challenge.
The nice thing, some of the things you mentioned would be the Callaway projects. I know that every one of our communities have their own heartbeat for economic development, but it all kind of ties together like a wheel in a way, right? I mean, it's fun to watch things happen in the communities that they do themselves, but I know from going to the meetings, there's always cooperation between the economic development, Custer County economic development, and those communities. A little sharing and helping one another get those things done. In my previous career, I worked with lots of communities and counties, and I've got to say that Custer County, with the work that each of the communities have done in the past and in the future what they're planning to do, we are one of the strongest counties in the state for economic development, both from an independent community basis, but also from the larger picture, what Custer Economic Development does and support. And it's just amazing to me what gets done in these communities. And I'll just tell you, that is not something that just happens. And I know a lot of places where it doesn't happen. So these communities and the leadership in these communities, they really need to get that pat on the back, because they're risk takers. It's tough business. And when they stick their neck out and do something, they need to be commended for it in their community and throughout the shared communities of Custer County. Chris, I'm going to switch gears on you just a little bit, and this is a toughie, I'll tell you right now, but I know that you can handle this question.
Okay.
As citizens of our communities in Custer County, including Broken Bow, we'd like to see more retail. But the trend in the country is not working in our favor. I think I want to preface it with that. It would be nice if it was like back when in the 1970s or 80s when every town had retail stores up and down the block. That's just not the way it is right now. I personally hope someday that evolves and we'll decide that maybe it's still a good thing to have retail. Is that something that you guys talk about? It's something that maybe is on, at least the conversation plate?
Right. I think we've been conscientious of retail and how that is important to our communities because, yes, I mean, there's, that's what brings people in. That's where your sales tax revenue comes from, so your cities can do things. One of the ways that I think was shown that we support that, and we're backing up here a few years, but back during the COVID when everything kind of shut down, and we did, a nice partnered up. We just had the sale of the books clinic to us, and so we took that money and actually gave it back into the communities and allowed folks to go buy gift certificates that then would be spent in the stores, and we matched some amounts and things like that to encourage that spending and that to greater the impact, so that way they could ride a little bit of that wave when it first opened up. And I mean, retail was just forced to shut down and not be open, and so we were very mindful of the fact. I remember sitting in there and going, "Oh boy," and this predates myself as the chair, but we're sitting in the room as an executive committee, and we're going, how do we help support this? Because if we lose all of our retail, I mean, we're going to dry up as an area and economically. So we always keep that in the front. I think we see that retail has changed a little bit for the small towns. Growing up, we had the J.C. Penney's, we had Ben Franklin's, we had all these, Gibson's, some big department stores and national stores, or at least regional stores. And that's kind of changed more to a boutique style, that you do that. And, those have been a little more successful in small communities. We've seen them here in Broken Bow, which I think our businesses around the square in Broken Bow have done an amazing job. Arnold's a good one that comes to mind. They seem to be doing a lot there on that. Sargent's has had a boutique and things.
Ansley has one.
Ansley, yep. Yeah. So they just kind of pop up. Those are the things that tend to make it, because they're serving a little more of a niche community. They've got a little mix of everything in their stores, from clothing, which you think is traditional retail, probably, to, they have cute house knickknacks, I'll call them that way. I'm a guy, so I don't know how to describe them right. They might have some jewelry and candles and art and all kinds of, all the stuff that my wife loves to buy and decorate her house with stuff. So they do a nice blend of trying to be a little something for everybody in there. And so those have done well. But I also think you take a look at maybe the retail is a little bit different in a rural area. And so things that we don't think about that are still important, when you have like the auto parts store, or, an implement place where you can go get parts for a tractor, or your irrigation systems, those aren't necessarily true retail or retail that you and I are going to walk in off the street, but they're very impactful for our farmers and our business and our ag community and that types of stuff. So it's shifted a little bit in the rural sense. It's become more of like a service/retail. That's probably our opportunity to grow and survive, and do that, and maybe attract some new businesses that way, just by, you're constantly looking. Once upon a time we were like, okay, what does Beck and Dickinson use that maybe we could bring something in that could be utilized that might support something that they're doing? Do you bring in a box company, or, just throwing things out there to try to do that you think, okay, we could invite somebody here, maybe that would create a few jobs, but be good because it's going to be supported by a major industry in our area. So that's probably our continual thing that we need to look to in the future, to try to expand our market and still keep some tax dollars and keep revenues, and get good paying jobs here in the community. Because if you can get good paying jobs in the community, most of us still spend our dollars in the community. We're doing grocery, we're buying cars, we're doing things like that keeps the money here. Yes, some of it has to go out of town just because you can't find it, or it comes in, from an Amazon or someplace like that. But I think the statistics are is like 80% of what you make in a community, if you live in it, stays there. So, I think that's the goal for us.
That's an important goal. We can do another whole show sometime on grocery stores and schools, but those are two that every community wants to have, no matter what their size, and that would be an interesting subject as well. But those are very important as well. So
one thing that, and I'll give a report this afternoon on it at our board meeting, but we are in partnership with the University of Nebraska Entrepreneurial Center for Small Business Development. And so what happens is, when we get a business that will call our office and they're interested in talking about starting a business, or maybe they're in purchasing a business, let's just say those are two things that we would refer them to the coaching team through the Entrepreneur Center, which is Caleb Pollard out of Ord, and he serves all of Custer County. And so right now there are 11 prospects that are looking at businesses, either buying a business or starting a business in the communities of Custer County. And so that's pretty darn exciting when you really think about small town growth. And he does a great job. He's an entrepreneur, and he knows all the ins and outs. But the key thing is that it's starting that business plan process that they all have to go through, and so that's the coaching that he provides, and it's a very successful program because it takes them through the steps they don't like to do, and that's the main thing. So, and we've talked about business plans.
We have,
and so it's pretty exciting, and I think it just tells you again the strength of living in small towns in Custer County and rural Nebraska.
Now, you realize there's a certain segment of the population out there that doesn't want you to be too successful, if you get my gist, because they like the small town atmosphere. And yes, we want the retail and we want all the things that we want to buy in our hometown, but we don't want to get huge. Or there's a segment of the population out there that says, "Hey, I don't want to grow to where we don't have that small town Sergeant Ansley Broken Bow feel." I don't think that's a problem right now, but there is that concern. We love our lifestyles here, right?
Yeah, and while that would be great to think that we would be so successful that we're pulling in organizations and that would employ another 800 people and we would need these great big booms. That's just not the reality.
Yeah.
A lot of times those businesses aren't looking for the same things that we can offer here in Custer County, and we've been mindful of that. I mean, there's been times that we've sat down and some of the things is you get requests from the state that Keith has to work on to do some due diligence for businesses that have worked here. And sometimes something kind of looks at it and we're like, okay, we just can't support that from a jobs number standpoint, or we're already saturated in that. We will give them the information that they requested, because that's what you do. But maybe you don't aggressively recruit that just because we are already saturated, and you knew if that came to town that would be damaging to several other businesses and things like that. So as a group, you're always mindful of that. If they want to be here, they're going to be here.
I was going to say, you don't really have control.
It's not like we get to say, oh, we don't want XYZ store to come be here. If they want to be here, they're going to be here anyway. Usually, when we're getting it, it's because they want to look at 50 communities, and figure out what's going to be, who's going to dole out the most money to get them to come here, or what types of incentives, and that gives some of those communities a chance to do that. And so that's when we can do that. We do get at a little bit of disadvantage sometimes when we're trying to recruit things that we do think would be a good fit for the area, because our organization is funded solely on those memberships, and we're unique in that way. Most economic developments around the state and even neighboring communities all have either public support from their city through their taxes or things like that, that they can use. And LB 840 is the big one that people use that create a little bit of tax revenue so they can build, say, a war chest that allows some things to happen, whether that be develop a piece of ground so that way a new business could be site ready, or help build housing, things like that, or help just even current businesses expand and grow on that. A lot of times those communities have that, and so they're a little more successful because they have the funds available, and their economic development team can go to that. Keith's job is much harder, because if all of a sudden we said, okay, this type of business wants to come to the community, but we need $300,000. Well, he's picking up the telephone and knocking on doors saying, will you give to this? Will you help support this? Where can we get this? What's at the state? Or he's just trying to direct the business to say, well, there's this funding available here at the state, and here's this, and we can get you a little bit here, or we can connect you with people here. But then again, it comes back to maybe these 11, they really want to be here, because we can't necessarily just say, hey, let's go buy this piece of ground and make it a business park, and then all these businesses have a place to go. So we do get disadvantaged just a little bit here. And so that's unique. And we do a fundraiser and a membership drive, and of course you're focused on retaining your current members, but we're also looking for the new members that can do that and grow. And there's several different levels. So that's one thing I always say is if you want to see us grow and be successful and continue to have the things that we have, we need to support organizations like the CEDC. Years ago when it was started by John Sennett and R.J. Thomas, I think Jerry, yep, at Adams Land and Cattle, Lauren Taylor, just to name a few. They went around and tried to fundraise, and they came in with these membership levels. Palmer Monument, they were asking for 5-year commitments, and I think the B level was a $500 level, and maybe at that time the A level was $2,500 or something like that. But they wanted you to make a 5-year commitment, and my dad had said, okay, yeah, I'll I'll hop on and we'll give you 5 years. So we'll do that, see how it goes, and then figuring after 5 years, if it wasn't going to work, then we could say, no, sorry, there's no money. But obviously it did grow, and then our business commitment stepped up because we saw the need and the importance of it that was out there.
The model worked, and there were other organizations earlier. Nest Builders was mentioned
Correct.
the other day. I had forgotten the name of the group, and Broken Bow Economic Development Group. So there's been other people that have worked on it previous to Custer County Economic Development. But I think the idea that it's Custer County really makes it strong and an effective force. So,
Correct.
Yeah. Hey guys, anything else before we go? We could dive into each one of these individually, each subject, and go for another whole show. But we appreciate, Keith, you bringing Chris in, who heads up things right now at the Economic Development Corporation, and meeting today at 4, correct?
4 o'clock at the Custer Public Power District.
All right, and I can guarantee you that Brent's not going to lure me away to go golfing today because it's going to be too hot and he's not here.
All right, so we won't dock your pay this month on your...
No. One of the things before we close I think is beneficial is the visitation with fellow members before the meeting starts and after the meeting starts. Like you say, Chris, if there's something that maybe perks your ear and you want to know a little bit more about it off the record, there can be conversations afterwards between members about particular things. So the meeting is important, but sometimes the visitation either side of it really works out well too.
Yeah, and just to add to that, that's sometimes also where things get that happen because somebody, even like myself, I might be saying like, man, I really just need like another business or another location that I can store some granite in or park some trucks or do something like that. And from those conversations, somebody might say like, oh, well, I know this building's available, or hey, this person's got a lot for sale or something like that. And so just within our own community, we solve a lot of each other's problems just by being there and doing that. So that's another reason just to go to those meetings. You do, as a member, you get an update by email so you can keep up if you can't be there. But being at those meetings, a lot of times you're going to solve your own issues or be able to help somebody else that might need a hurdle that they need to jump over a little bit, and you can do that. So we do encourage our members to come to the meeting, and if you think that you want to be a member and you just want to come to a meeting to do that, I'm sure that we could arrange that as well.
Yeah, we'd sure like to
have you visit and see kind of how the organization operates.
Great idea.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I knew this would be easy with you two here. I should ask you any questions, Jeremy, that you had?
Oh, no, I'm just sitting back listening.
Yeah. So this is an easy gig today, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right.
If something bad doesn't happen, I'll be there today, and I'll be interested to see. I've got the agenda. So going to be a long meeting today?
I'll keep it under an hour.
You always do. That goes back to RJ, doesn't it?
Yep, that's RJ. That was RJ's rule. Meeting had to stay under an hour. If you hit an hour, you just stop talking.
Just cut it right there.
Just remember, your name gets in the minutes if you're there.
That's true. That's true. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks to the radio station.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
You bet. 8:32.
Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. I mean, 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
Don't let falling behind on your spraying affect your yield. Now is the time to book fungicide and insecticide applications on corn and soybeans with Aero Aviation. Not only can you fight disease, but you can improve plant health at the same time, increasing yields. Easily control insects like grasshoppers, rootworms, beetles, and western bean cutworms with the help of Aero Aviation. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim with Aero Aviation at 872-5113 to talk about your options.
Not skipping breakfast is an important part of your overall health, so don't ever skip out on your financial health either. Bruning Bank has a full regiment dedicated to keeping your finances in shape. Earn interest on your checking account with Premier Checking. Signing up or switching is easy and can be done remotely. Enroll in CreditSense to monitor your credit score and learn what you are doing well or could improve upon. It's free and a part of mobile and online banking. Call or stop by today. Bruning Bank. Build, grow, thrive. Member FDIC.
Ansley Lumber and Supply is locally owned and operated and proud to be your full-service lumber yard. From premium lumber and top-quality building materials to paint, tools, and ag supplies. When you drop by Ansley Lumber, their crew is prepared to help you with your project. From the materials for building a house to the accessories and pieces needed to make it a home. Ansley Lumber and Supply, Main Street, Ansley, or call 308-935-1815.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
8:35. I'm wondering, Jeremy, yesterday was Brent and Shelley's anniversary. I'm a little worried. Did Brent say anything to you about a card or a gift for Shelley?
No. Nothing specific.
That could be disastrous. Tune in tomorrow. We'll find out how that went.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay tuned right now. Jeremy has a couple things he wants to talk to you about.
Yeah, where Brent could have gone for a gift would have been Brew Bakers, Coffee House, and Gifts. They want you to know that they're open Tuesday to Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 3. And while you're there, you can enjoy a baked goodie, a breakfast burrito, or a tasty treat from the barista bar. They're ready to help you gear up for school and continue to stay geared up for school. Maybe you went off, your kids went off to school and you realized, oh, man, I forgot I needed that. They have backpacks and matching lunch boxes. Go in and check those out. Fall decor is coming in through the door and it's getting set out. Stop in frequently to see the different items arriving. They still have 50% off purses that have a green dot on them, so don't miss that deal. And don't forget they have great novelty toys for boys and girls, as well as great novelty gifts for everyone. This is a historic destination barista bar and gift shop right in Arnold at Brew Bakers Coffee House. Follow them on Facebook to keep up on all the latest happening. And coffee with a friend is always a good idea, and that's certainly what you'll get at Brew Bakers Coffee House and Gifts.
And a little side note, they'll open tomorrow. And if you have an anniversary that you would like to treat your spouse with, your mate, just go in and say, I heard on the KCNI KBBN breakfast show on the radio that Brad Atkins will pay for my coffee this morning. They will accept that as a ticket for a free cup of whatever you would like. And Brad is continuing this offer as long as his money lasts.
I think people think you're joking around, but you're not joking around.
I'm not.
Money, it's waiting there for you to take advantage of.
I stopped in during Sork and charged a coffee. No, I didn't. I didn't have time. I was on the run, but I just wanted to know, is Brad still buying coffee? They said, he has credit here.
Yeah.
So we're not kidding.
I should have asked him about that. I was at the barbecue at the end of Sork on Saturday night, and Brad was there. He was doing some auctioneering of some different items there. With the Sork individuals, and I didn't get a chance to bend his ear about it.
Yeah, he's a professional auctioneer, as you know, and he's filthy rich. Over the years, he's made, I don't know, I wouldn't say millions, but a lot of money. And he can afford to buy you a coffee.
Billions with a B?
I don't know. I have no idea what Brad took in as a professional auctioneer and realtor. But he's got a lot of money, and he wants to share it with you. So go into Brew Bakers and have yourself a cup.
There you go.
All right. What else you have here for us this morning?
I want to talk about universal insurance. Anytime is a good time to take a look at your insurance coverage and see if there's something that can be shifted around to better serve you. And I know farmers are about to get really, really busy here very shortly. But it's never too early or too late to call Universal Insurance and start having that conversation so that as soon as you are not busy and you can think about it more, you can get that accomplished. Make sure you're properly insured on all of your equipment and make sure that your building values are at the appropriate levels as well. Call Universal Insurance in Broken Bow at 872-6438 or stop into their office right off Highway 2. You can put something together and tell the guys at Universal Insurance, hey, I'm going to be doing harvest here soon, but right after harvest, I want to take a look at things because I've got some equipment I want to make sure is lined up correctly. They can help you out with that. But then, of course, for those of us that don't own a combine,
yeah,
they can help out with that as well. Us little guys that are just concerned about our vehicle in our garage or our siding or windows on our house, and
right,
those sorts of things. They can help out with that too.
All right. They're a great team, Jack and Nate there at Universal Insurance Agency in downtown Broken Bow, Nebraska.
At 308-872-5881 or email jeremy@sandhillsexpress.com.
8:43 is your time. One more thing that we want to talk about, and fortunately more people are talking about it these days, but it's an issue all across the country and really the world, and that's mental health. And we're starting to understand that mental health is just like any other problem with our health. It needs to be addressed. If it's not addressed, it can percolate into a real problem, and we have some help here locally.
Yeah, the idea is to continue to talk about it and let people know that there are folks available to talk about it. And if it's something that you yourself are not comfortable with, you need to at least be comfortable enough to pass along some resources so that someone who needs that help can get it from folks that are going to listen and know the methods to help. And a website, like Dave said, that is local and has local information on it for those of us right here in Custer County has been created. It is mhpcc.org. There's a link to a Spanish version at the top of the page as well. And like Dave said, mental health is one of those things that for years and years nobody really wanted to talk about, and it took us way too long to realize that the way that we can help people that are struggling with mental health issue is by talking about it, and just in general, maybe not talking to them specifically about it, but talking about it amongst ourselves and in society in general, so that folks that maybe are having that internal struggle know that a lot of us are out here waiting, ready to help you get in contact with resources that can help you. So go to mhpcc.org and familiarize yourself with the site. It's a simple site, text on a screen, no pictures, no videos, no ads, nothing like that. That URL is being paid for with the hope of helping people out with their mental health. And should it get to that level, keep some people on God's green earth here with us where we want them to be. So mhpcc.org is the place to go.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. 8:45, couple of things coming up. Well, there's a lot of things coming up this week, but one of them we wanted to point out is the Chris Ogle Family Benefit Lunch, and I believe there'll be a story up on that tomorrow on Sandals Express and on the radio. But this is coming up Sunday, August 27th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. This will be held at the Veterans Building on South First Avenue here in Broken Bow. And they'll have a free will donation. They'll have sloppy Joe and sides. And so that's coming up on Sunday. We can help the Ogle family out. And also, you may have just heard the ad that Jeremy has posted on the radio about work openings here, job openings here at KCNI. We have an opening for a sales position and a news director position. And got some interviews lined up. But if you're thinking about getting into radio, getting into news writing, talk to Jeremy about it, and we'll roll on and hopefully get someone new in that will be a part of our family here.
Yeah, you know, I think the overarching thing that makes working here comfortable is that we all have our day-to-day duties, but ultimately we all have the same goal of covering news, weather, sports, and the entertainment side as well. And a lot of us are ready to wear several different hats and help each other out. And we currently basically have 3 people writing news and covering those 3 newscasts a day. The great thing about that news job is, you know, your main priority is those 3 newscasts a day, and that's your main priority, is doing those 3 newscasts. And when you just have that extra person to take care of solely that, you're guaranteed to meet some great people and tell some amazing stories in the form of news. You know, you can write those featured stories that go a little bit more in depth, but ultimately it's a writing style that I think anybody can pick up, whether you're confident in your writing or not. The writing side of it, I wouldn't worry all that much about. News writing style, it's just getting the facts out there and letting people know about it. And then the radio side, don't worry about that either. Believe it or not, those of us that are here, we can teach you how to talk into a microphone. I got to tell you, it's a lot easier than public speaking.
It is. Very much so.
Look at Dave. We're just sitting here in a room.
I don't get
talking into this microphone to who knows how many people. So
exactly. And Jeremy and I don't get lumps in our chest before we go on the air, but we do get a little nervous when we're in front of people. That's kind of the difference between the two. Public speaking and radio are really quite different, but they're both good to have skills at. As far as the writing part of it goes, you know, if you're like me and you get rusty and haven't written news for a while, it takes a while to get going again and get into the groove. But once you get into that groove, I won't say it's easy, it's a great challenge, but it does you get quicker at it, and it's not as heavy a load as when you first start. It won't, unless you're absolutely a great rider, such as Grant Winter, who just left us. You can get better at it. It just takes time.
And of course, with both positions, you're going to do a little bit more than each of those. But in a small town, small market radio station, you're going to dip your foot into other things that are plenty of fun that you'll not believe that you're getting paid to do as part of working at a radio station such as this one. So give me a ring, 872-5881 here at the station, or email jeremy@sandhillsexpress.com if you're interested at all about hearing about either of those positions. We've got some great benefits we can offer you, and you can come and have some fun with us here at KCNI KBBN. We'd love to hear from you.
And you'll be a part of a locally owned, homegrown radio station, KCNI KBBN. Formerly Cat Stevens, known now as Yusuf on the radio.
Equal housing lender. It's getting close to bowling league season at Pleasure Lanes in Broken Bow. On Mondays at 1 p.m., 3 women teams for afternoon delight. At 7 is men's major with 5-man teams. On Wednesdays, Town and Country 5-man teams at 7:30. Twilight League on Thursdays at 7 with 4 women teams. On Sundays, it's Sunday Mixed at 7 with 4-person teams. That includes kids, men, and women. All leagues start after Labor Day. Give them a call at 308-767-2612 or text them at 308-870-3499 to join a league. There is a league for everyone at Pleasure Lanes in Broken Bow.
Your feet are your body's foundation. Keep them in good health or relieve the pain with the help of Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Check out their selection of insoles and relieve the stress your feet are under. Help plantar fasciitis or soothe heel pain. Also in stock are an assortment of creams and sprays for foot pain relief. Varney Health Mart, just off the square in Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It is 8:54, and we're happy to have you along here on this Monday morning. Very busy week. As we were talking earlier, if you're just tuning in, this is the first full week of high school sports and also some Husker activities that we'll be broadcasting. Tomorrow is the kickoff for the Broken Bow Athletic Booster Club's fall sports get-together, barbecue, and visit with the athletes and coaches live on KBBN. That will be live from Kincaidor Brewing Company, and they're going to start around 5:30 tomorrow afternoon and start talking to the student and athletes and coaches. It's a lot of fun. Kids get to kind of talk about their goals, what maybe practice has been like. I always like Brent's question, what's your least favorite thing that you do in practice?
Yeah, we all have childhood memories of those, don't
Yes, we do. And so that's going to be fun. That's tomorrow. I think Brent is here from Lions Appliance, maybe. Let's take a time out and find out what's going on.
Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow is excited to pass along great savings to their customers. Country-style pork ribs are just $2.39 a pound, and USDA Choice 10-ounce boneless New York strip steaks are $8.99 each. Minute Maid lemonade or drinks are only 2 for $3, and for dessert, get 48-ounce tubs of Our Family ice cream at $3.89. Remember, a senior discount is available Monday to Friday until 1 p.m. Shop at Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Does the thought of turning 65 give you nightmares? It doesn't have to. Hi, this is Liana with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency, and as an independent agent, I work with the major insurance companies that you're getting mail and phone advertising from. If you're feeling overwhelmed with the options, give me a call to set up an appointment. We will go through the Medicare process step by step, from signing up to enrolling in the necessary supplement and Part D drug plans. You don't have to do this alone. Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency is here to help. Call me at 836-2201 or stop in at the office in Callaway.
Good soil starts with good seed. AeroSeed is big on performance and believe that clean, quality seed simply performs better. Soil Builder cover crop mixes from AeroSeed were developed to improve soil health and provide maximum benefits to the next planted crop. Cover crops planted after wheat, corn, or soybean harvest not only increase nitrogen supplies in your soil, but also reduce erosion, conserve soil moisture, reduce compaction, and suppress weeds. These benefits to your soil also benefit your bottom line. Learn more about Soil Builder cover crop mixes and how they can work for you by visiting aeroseed.com or your local AeroSeed dealer.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It's the best start to my day.
All right, Brent is here from Lions Appliance. He's also here to talk about the Boosters kickoff that we've been promoting here this morning. But let's talk a little bit about what you're up to at the store. Wondering about your supply of air conditioners with the weather the way it is.
Yeah, we've got like we were kind of talking. We have quite a bit still in stock. So and they're all sizes. If you want just a really small one, all the way up to a great big one. 110 volts or 220. We kind of got a good variety. I know at least 4 different sizes. So,
I think living in an older home, as Joan and I do, and we were fortunate enough this year to get central air.
Oh, congrats!
Thanks. But with an older home, you don't have the vent system that you would in a newer home, and so there's still rooms in older homes that probably could use a nice air conditioner in the window, so you don't have to run that central air so high to try to get the air into those rooms, because it really doesn't work.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. And that's where those little ones, they come in so handy, just to even have it in a bedroom.
Right.
Right, when you're really trying to get some rest.
Right.
So.
Yep. And there's a lot of the she sheds and he sheds out there, maybe are a little shop or something that somebody's working in, and they find that they can't get much done because the sweat's dripping off their nose as they're working on the woodworking or whatever. A nice little air conditioner could fix that up in no time.
Oh yeah, yep. Those can do wonders. And if you're worried about you got like a great big shop. We've even got some swamp coolers.
Okay.
Like some of the big ones, you're going to see stand about 3-4 foot tall.
Yeah.
These ones are really nice. They've even, you hook them up to a garden hose, right? How this thing works. It's just like a mister, right? So you're going to get a cool breeze. So it's probably not going to help the humidity.
No.
But I mean, right now, humidity, you're going to be fighting it no matter what. So it's not going to add to it at this point. But they do a fantastic job. They have like their own float system in it. So as you hook up a garden hose to it, it'll refill as it gets low enough.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool machine.
That sounds really helpful in those conditions. And you're right, when you walked out the door today, it just kind of hit you with the humidity.
Oh.
And I don't know, do you have dehumidifiers? And
we do.
Yeah, that might come in handy the next few days too.
Yeah. We've got 2 different sizes. We've got some, a lot of like the 25 cubic or the 25 pint ones, which are really popular. We do have some bigger ones if you're really trying to handle something, but yeah, they both work really well.
All right. Well, I guess the natural scheme of human beings is sometimes we don't buy something until we absolutely need it, right? We don't plan ahead sometimes. So you've got a good supply of those 2 items. And then I imagine the floor is stocked really nice with all the other things that you offer as well.
Yeah, we got a great inventory right now. Always adding more. We actually just went to our trade show last week. I took Mitch with me for the first time, so I think he got to experience that, and it was in Nashville, so tons of great music. We did go out a few evenings and enjoy everything, but it was a good opportunity. He had a good chance to. We'll be pretty loaded, I think, over the next couple weeks with inventory showing up.
All right. Now, freezers, they really work hard in this kind of weather. If you have one out in the garage, you might want to be, if it's older one, you might want to check that, make sure it's running.
Yeah. I tell you what, we have a great deal I've found finally here this last year. They're called a temp stick. And if you're close enough to your Wi-Fi anywhere, you can put this in your freezer, and you don't have to pay a subscription or anything. You just purchase that deal, and then you hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and then it'll actually send you notifications straight to your phone and let you know if your freezer is getting ready to fail. And it'll keep track of you. It tells you if it's running high or if it's running low. It even keeps track of the humidity. If you're wanting to put this in somewhere else, you could even use it as like a barn monitor or something like that too. They do a fantastical job. There's just not one application for it. You can kind of use it for different things.
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Money well spent when you got like a couple $1,000s worth of meat in your freezer.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact price. Like just under $200 for one of these things, like $180, $190, something like that. But yeah, for what you're putting inside of it, it's pretty cheap insurance.
Yeah, and not only the loss of that couple $1,000s worth of beef or pork, whatever it is having to clean it up after you have that mess. I mean, that's got to be awful. So it'd be worth the $200. Yeah. No doubt. All right, let's switch gears. We're going to catch up on some news, but for all of these items and others at the store, just what's your hours again at Lyons Appliance?
Yep. Monday through Friday, we're open at 8:30 a.m., close at 5:30, and Saturdays open from 9 a.m. to noon. And, of course, if you ever have emergencies, my cell phone number's even posted right there on the front door. Look us up anytime. We're happy to help at any time of the day.
All right. Now, are you going to make Mitch and the crew do any deliveries today in this heat?
Well, unfortunately, we've got a few we got to go get done.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to knock a few of them out today for darn sure.
Rain, shine, or heat, right?
Yeah. I tell you, when it gets slick, that's when I get really nervous about carrying a fridge or something.
Yeah.
We can maintain ourselves a little bit in the heat, just kind of pace it, right?
Yeah, I could understand why you'd feel that way with slippery conditions underneath your feet carrying a fridge.
Yeah.
Not good.
I don't want to get any of the guys hurt or tear up somebody's new piece.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick news break. We'll be back to talk about tomorrow night. The Broken Bow Boosters holding a party for you. Stay tuned.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. British nurse Lucy Letby's been sentenced to life in prison for killing 7 newborns and trying to murder 6 others. CBS's Imtiaz Tyab's in London.
Letby was on duty in all of the cases and described her as a, quote, constant malevolent presence in the neonatal unit when the children collapsed or died.
The rain stopped, but the danger remains in parts of Southern California after the first tropical storm there in 84 years. CBS's Elise Preston from San Bernardino County.
Flash floods, high winds, and the relentless rain led to washed-out roads. Flooding led to mudslides southeast of here in Oak Glen, where the runoff appears to have jumped the protective K-rails, meant to hold back the debris flow.
It was quite a surprise northwest of L.A. when a 5.1 earthquake hit Ojai.
Caught us off guard, for sure. Once the bottle started flying off the wall, it was a little like, oh, wow. And then the small quakes that have been happening after are a little unnerving.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
Finals in baseball from Sunday. The Brewers swept the Rangers with a 6-2 win. In a losing effort, Max Scherzer moved into 11th place on the career strikeout list, but Texas has now lost 4 straight. Cubs edged the Royals 4-3. Chicago holds a 1-game lead for the final wild card spot in the National League and remains 3 games back of Milwaukee in the division. Mariners finished a sweep of the Astros 7-6. Seattle has won 6 in a row. Blue Jays hit 5 home runs in a 10-2 thumping of the Reds. Toronto just a half game back of Seattle for the final AL wildcard spot. Elsewhere, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-5. New York has now lost 8 in a row, their longest losing streak since 1995. Giants salvaged their weekend against the Braves with a 4-3 win. Orioles blew out the A's 12-1, and the Twins shut out the Pirates 2-0.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. A heat advisory goes into effect for this afternoon. For today, look for mostly sunny skies with high temperatures on the hot side working up to 101. We'll have our winds becoming gusty out of the southwest. Then for tonight, mostly clear, a low of 72. Continuing on the hot and breezy side for your Tuesday, expecting a high temperature of 103 degrees. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
7 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. It is 79 degrees outside under a sunny sky, and the humidity is still in the upper 80 percentile. So get yourself hydrated and get ready for another one of these days where it's way hotter than what the temperature shows. And take care of yourselves out there. Now, tomorrow night, at Kincaid's, the Broken Bow Boosters are throwing their fall kickoff, and Brent is here now on behalf of the Booster Club to talk about that, which you're a member of, correct?
Yep. Joined here, a year and a half ago, so it's been pretty interesting, fun time.
And where does that put your, because I kind of watched your kids grow up across from mom's, but they're going like corn is these days. It's growing really fast, so kind of update us on where your kids are at.
Yep. So we have 3 kids. Addie's a freshman now.
Oh man,
this fall. Yeah, hard to believe. And she's doing cross country, and Gage and Reed are in 7th grade and 5th grade. So we got junior high sports now on top of it.
So you might be a booster for a while.
Yeah, I think I got a couple more years to go.
I think you do. Going to be a fun time tomorrow night at Kincaid's. It always is, but it gives the kids a chance to talk about their goals and Jeremy and I was talking about maybe what they like about practice and what they don't like about practice, and it's just a fun time.
Yeah, I genuinely enjoy it. Since we've been back, in Broken Bow. It's always nice we've tried to always help out with like even the Optimist stuff and going through all this stuff. It's fun to see all these kids kind of growing and see how they go from the progress they could just make, you know. It's just, I always find that very interesting.
Yeah, and there's lots of choices for the youth, different sports that they can participate in. And I know, Jeremy, you jump in here, you cover a lot of them, but it's amazing what these kids are all involved in besides the athletic side of things too. But this is pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, often if there's practice in the evening, there's some other kind of extracurricular practice they do in the morning as well.
Yeah.
So it's a long day, often more than a 12-hour day these kids are putting in, and then often they got to squeeze homework in there somewhere because that happens on the academic side. So lots of studying on the school bus to and from events and things like that. And, you know, the Booster Club recognizes the hard work they're putting in, and they their goal is to kind of make those sorts of things awarded in a way.
Yeah. So what are some of the projects that are being handled right now as far as, I know you make donations to particular things in the school and have made a big difference on a lot of the things centered around the gym or at the football field.
Yep. So our big one last year, right, was we got it done kind of at the end of the school year, but it was we put in a video board there at the gym, at the main gym there at the high school, and man, it is pretty cool. I think be a lot of opportunities they can do with that. And I know we have future projects. We'd like to do something out on the football field as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes, but that's a kind of a goal as well. We did a bunch of other small ones this year. We helped out with some equipment for a lot of different sports. I think we did some stuff for the boys basketball, maybe some practice stuff for the girls basketball. I mean, it just kind of covers a pretty wide variety. And as good as Jeremy's doing, I think we might have to see if he wants to maybe get on the Booster Club here.
Oh, did I explain it well?
Yeah, you did a great job. I think we found a candidate right there.
Oh, boy, I'm thinking you did.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Applying for something you didn't know.
Yeah. I did see the new golf bags for the girls golf team. Those are pretty slick, too. Those were the Booster Club had a hand in that.
Yep, we helped with that. Those are sharp, I think.
They look really
that
good.
Red and everything like that, I think it looks great.
Well, you know, they're going to be seen by a lot of eyes because, you know, the expectations are high for the team again this year. So
what do we, three-peat so far, right?
So far, they're looking for 4.
Looking for 4, yeah. Amazing.
A dynasty right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
In golf it is. Anybody tried to, I know you've golfed some.
Oh, man.
I can't even string 3 holes together.
That's amazing. It's amazing. It's going to be fun. But all the kids put their best effort in, and that's why you reward them with some of these extra things and support them. And there's other booster organizations for music and art, which are very important as well. And I think it all fits together pretty nicely. Mm-hmm. What are we going to be enjoying for food tomorrow night?
Yep. So might be a pretty simple meal, but we have some meal deals. Be hamburgers, hot dogs, mac and cheese. If you want like extra meat, protein, whatever, we do offer that. I think it's like another $4 if you're wanting to double it or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have that. We also have a meal deal if you have like some drink tickets. We do that for $10 as well. But yeah, it'll be pretty good little line. I think they're set up, and we do have it staggered out. Kind of talking about that. We'll have, I think, cross country starts at 5:30, and that's boys and girls, of course. And then you'll have girls golf at 6, and then volleyball will be at 6:30, and then they'll finish it up with the football team. So they're at 7.
All right.
So be a good time. And I think, is Mr. Apperson going to be there?
Yep, he's all geared up for it. He's celebrating his anniversary today and taking a little time off. But yeah, he's been talking about, you know, this fall kickoff. He's been a part of it for a number of years now. He really enjoys it. So yeah, he'll be there. And Jeremy, I don't know if you're hanging around. Or,
Yep, I'll be out there too.
So probably Larry Cotner will be around there as well. They can't stay away from the sports.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So.
I know there's always a few kids that have some pretty good personalities that really kind of flourish in these moments. It seems
they do.
Like too.
Yeah, it's always fun and exciting to see what they might say.
Yeah. I think the coaches are probably doing their best between today and tomorrow and giving them a little bit of a pep talk.
Yeah. Well, I gotta believe that knowing Coach Wells, that they'll get away with a little bit, but I don't know how much that beyond that they will. But it is fun, and I think the kids enjoy it. It's a good thing for them to be involved in, to speak publicly and over the air. So
yeah, great opportunity, right? If you're wanting to get out, you can grab some supper, get to see these kids. Just besides being on the field, you get to see a little bit more of the opposite side of that. I think is just being competitive.
No charge to get in, so just come on out, and that'll be out on the outside part. Plenty of room. Mm-hmm. There's always a nice breeze on the deck, or usually a nice breeze there, so it'll cool down and be pretty comfortable. The sun will get behind the building, and it'll all be good, right?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I think Jeremy's talking about setting up the equipment tomorrow morning, though.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, might go do that. See if I can get around there, get that accomplished.
Now, back to the screen and the gym that you boosters donated. You're a pixel guy. I mean, you're a TV guy. What's the picture like on that?
It's maybe not going to be kind of as detailed as what you'd see some of their stuff, but it's really good capabilities. Like I was helping out a little bit during the summer with the girls' basketball stuff, and it is really neat because now it's just an iPad. It's not a great big control board, so you can do everything from an iPad, and you can even play songs and video and everything during timeout. So if somebody, say, this example is like somebody hits a 3-pointer, you can hit the little like Mario ta-ting type deal on there. So it's a pretty cool deal. It's almost going to feel like you're going to like a college game or something like that, where you got a little bit more extra stuff going, and I think it'll be really good for the fan experience. For darn sure.
Kind of seeing that trickle down to, kind of started that way in the NBA. Now, there's only so much you can do at the high school level still, but, those between the timeout times and things like that, kind of upping that pageantry, you're kind of seeing that kind of trickle down from even the NBA and college level into that, So I don't know if the NSAA is going to play music during games like the NBA anytime soon, but man, having that during timeouts and stuff like that,
it makes it.
It's something you're charging admission for, and people are going there to ultimately support the kids, but bring in more casual fans and things like that too.
Yeah, I know we're hoping to use the board too for some advertisement opportunities. So if there's other businesses, by all means, contact the school. I talked to Mr. Toby or Mr. Ellis. I know they're happy to help you out. It's going to be centered around a lot of that too. So there'll be some good sponsorships type stuff.
And I imagine some of the students might be involved in the graphics on some of that. So it's a good deal.
Yeah. There was one of the kids that's down at UNL.
Yeah. Lucas Bell?
Yeah. He went down there and he's got a job, kind of a job, I guess, basically out of this. So I think it's a great thing that they're doing with Mr. Daffer. I know is helping do a lot of that stuff, setting it up.
Yeah, he's great with the kids. Yeah, they have quite a program there. So
it's fun.
Would you ask your wife Jessica not to go running today? I just don't think it's a good idea.
She went yesterday.
Oh God!
I got a quick story for you.
Okay.
So this weekend we had to go up to like the Custer and Deadwood area in South Dakota. My brother-in-law is very much like my wife, and they run nonstop. So he was going to go do 100-mile race, like I can't remember what they call it, an ultrathon or something. 100 miles.
Some word I've never heard. I can guarantee you that.
I think they got to go get a sanity check
I
for
do
these
too.
things. But he went and competed in it. He eventually had to drop out, but it's impressive because he made it like 48 miles, and I wouldn't even dream of trying to sign up to run past 8, let alone even half of that.
Putting pen to paper would be the first thing I'd have to accomplish, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So he's really proud of him, even though he didn't make it, but he had some pain that he was dealing with. So he decided he better quit before he caused any more damage or something. And Jessica did run yesterday when we got back. So she ran 10 miles. So.
Oh, geez.
Man alive.
See, Brett and Jessica lived across from my mom at one time. Then they moved down the street, so they're still in the same neighborhood. So, like I said, I've been watching the kids play and grow up, and I'm down at my aunt's mowing her lawn. It was just hotter than blazes. And I'm hot just sitting on a mower. And she goes trotting by,
running
and
by.
I think, that woman is crazy.
Yeah. I even asked her to marry me. That's a crazy thing, too.
All right. Well, it's going to be a good time tomorrow. Thanks for coming in, both for Lines Appliance and the Broken Bow Boosters. Appreciate it, and always appreciate your business, and also volunteering your time to the boosters and some other things I know that you guys are up to. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we appreciate all the help from you guys.
Here's Joel Walsh.
Chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge, but with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Corn rootworm is a ruthless pest, which is why Bayer is relentless in its innovation. SmartStax Pro with RNAi technology is now here. With an RNAi-based mode of action unlike anything that's come before, plus 2 proven BT traits, it's innovation that equals the strongest biotech defense in medium to high corn rootworm pressure environments now available. Talk to your seed dealer about defending like a pro with SmartStax Pro technology. Always read and follow IRM, grain marketing, and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions. Performance may vary.
9:25 is your time. Good to have you along. Before we close the show, we want to remind you of the Truckers Against Trafficking project that is coming to Broken Bow. And we are looking forward to this. This is something that we talked with the Rotary about earlier this month. And it's quite an extended schedule, Jeremy. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you look at kind of the 3-day schedule, August 27th, 28th, and 29th. It all kind of centers around the Freedom Drivers Project and the Truckers Against Trafficking exhibit in this trailer. But there's lots of speakers and lots of different things that are going on. I'll just kind of give you a little spattering of the information here. First of all, this is brought to Custer County by Broken Bow Area Rotary through grants provided by Custer County Foundation, Melham Medical Center, the City of Broken Bow, and Broken Bow Area Rotary. The Truckers Against Traffic Interactive exhibit will be open noon to 8 on Sunday the 27th, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday, as well as Tuesday as well. So plenty of chances to go through that exhibit. Hot Meals USA will provide meals for a free will offering from 12 to 2 and then 4 to 6 on Sunday. So make sure you keep that in mind. For lunch on Monday, noon to 2, the Broken Bow Chamber Lunch and Learn, with everyone being invited. Bring your own lunch, and they'll have a noon presentation and then a Q&A from 1 until 2. So Monday, kind of things look like this. A panel from 2 to 3. Angie Swanson is going to be there, the Rotary District Anti-Trafficking Chair. Brandy Belton, the Truckers Against Trafficking Trainer. NSP Lieutenant Tim Arnold going to be on that panel, as is NSP Trooper Tim Flick. And then they'll have a presentation by Brandy Belton at 6 p.m. on knowing the signs and knowing what to do and what not to do if you suspect that you are witnessing trafficking. That is certainly something that we could all take in and learn from. Lots of great things going on Monday as well at the Tiffany Theater. Certified Truckers Against Trafficking Awareness Training provided at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 4 p.m. Industry-specific trainings the public is invited to. Service industry, ministerial association, and government, as well as city employees, can get specific training on things to look for. And then school tours, the youth-specific training provided by Truckers Against Trafficking for those in the school system. All kinds of things going on, and we'll be putting a story together that we'll release on Sandhills Express later on this week about this. I think some of the statistics on this back page are some of the statistics that you'll learn about at this Truckers Against Trafficking visit. It's just shocking to see these numbers, and often we think about, well, it's not happening here, but it is. It's happening not only in Nebraska, not only on the interstate. It's happening in Custer County. It's happening in Broken Bow, and it's right in front of our eyes more often than not. This can help us see what we're looking for. Creighton University found recently that 900 plus individuals are bought and sold in Nebraska each month, predominantly 14 to 30-year-old females. That's each month, 900. And in 2021, Nebraska recorded 57 cases from 240 tips from 107 victims, survivors, and well-wishers. There were 134 victims involved, some of the cases affecting more than one victim. most victims in Nebraska in 2021 were teens and women aged 14 to 30. So it's happening every single day in lots of communities across the state. And what we can do is educate ourselves about it and know the signs to look for so that we can stop it.
Well said, Jeremy. Thanks so much. We'll be talking about that more as we go along. Also, a quick reminder before we close the show, we have a new hospital administrator, and we are going to learn more about our new administrator on Wednesday, as Mr. Kellum will be our guest on Wednesday's breakfast show, and there's a story on Sandhills Express with his background and some of the things that brought him here, and you can look at that. It's also on the air today. City Council meets tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, and there's the agendas available for that on Sandhills Express as well.
Okay.
So, yes, it takes 3 guys to do the news, but we will get it done.
We'll get it done. So if you're interested in doing news, it's not, 3 guys doing it together. It's definitely enjoyable. Normally I wouldn't have an opportunity like I did last week to go to Callaway and, learn about how they've recovered and are still going to have kite flight.
Yeah.
That'd be an experience that a news director would be able to go and have. But, we're all kind of divvying up our time to go and do that. But some great opportunities for a new news director or a sales executive out there. And we'd love to have you on our team and our family here at KCNI KBBN. So get in contact with me. Still conducting interviews and looking for that right team member.
All right, you heard it on the radio. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for your help.
Mm-hmm.
That takes care of the show for this Monday.